He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gadget Professor. My name is Don Baine, and of course, I am the one, the only, the Gadget Professor. It is September 19th, and I am coming to you live and in color from our brand new studio in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I am elated, delighted, and thrilled to be here. We are planning a tour of the facility for you, but I'm going to do it along with the Gadget not next week, but maybe the following week. I have a relatively brand new GoPro wireless camera. I think it's the Pro 3. I think it's the latest model. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually wear that on my head. I have a little helmet attachment. Yeah, you'll get to see that and laugh at me. And I'm going to walk around the studio and show you our new digs here. So that should be a lot of fun. And that GoPro camera will be real interesting to look at. So let's start the show off, of course, by welcoming everybody. I'm thrilled that you're here. The Gadget Professor is heard in 165 countries around the world. So I welcome everybody around the world, even in Scranton, Pennsylvania. So there you go. Now, you can get the Gadget Professor real easy. You're watching me now, so obviously you found out where I'm at. Just go to thegadgetprofessor.com. And when you go to our webpage, the simplest thing to do is to subscribe to the show notes. And that's right here. It says newsletter right there. You click that. You put your email address in, and you're going to get the show notes, which is basically a compilation of everything that we talked about on each show. Everything will be hot links, so all the URLs, all the free apps, the software, the hardware, the gadgets, all that stuff will be in the show notes for you, and that comes out every Thursday evening, Arizona time. I post somewhere around 8 to 11 o'clock at night. If you're in the Arizona time zone, if you're back east, you're going to get a little bit late. But actually, I know a lot of people actually are up at 12, 1, 2 in the morning waiting for that Gadget Professor episode to come out. If you want to email me, do that at any point in time. Just email me at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com, thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. I answer all my email, and yes, I know I'm about 2 weeks behind. I just had a new viewer who sent me a whole list of questions. I haven't forgotten you. I will get back to you probably today after I finish this show. The other thing that you may want to do is you may want to follow us on Facebook. Just go to Facebook.com/The Gadget Professor. As soon as the show is ready, I also make the announcement on my Facebook page. And then last but not least, you can go to one of my favorite pages, which is Rebel Mouse. And we are going to have the folks from Rebel Mouse as a guest on our show very soon. Basically, Rebel Mouse takes all my tweets, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, I tweet probably 50 to 70 times a day, and that would be at Gadget Professor. So just go to Twitter, and that would be at Gadget Professor, and you'll get the tweets. If you want to see a visualization of those tweets, then definitely go to the Rebel Mouse page, because that shows you pretty much every gadget that's new within an hour of it being announced on the internet. It's going to be on my Rebel Mouse page, so you can go back to that. That page changes frequently. Now, we do have a gadget of the day, and this is actually a very practical gadget. And actually, I got this because I needed something real quick, and I didn't have a lot of time to start wiring and fooling around. So we'll take a quick shot of camera 2, and our gadget today is going to be this NETGEAR WNCE 2001. It's a real cool piece of equipment, and I'll show you how to hook that up. As a matter of fact, right now, I am actually using this device to stream the Gadget Professor. That's how it's actually being picked up. I'm actually using this little NETGEAR device in our new studio, and I've never used it before in the studio. So I'm pretty pleased with it working so far, because if it wasn't working, you wouldn't be seeing me or any of the background net pages. But we'll take a look at that in a second. So we have some news today, and I have some tech news, and I have some gadgets, so let's get right into that. I'm sorry, gadgets. We have some software, some free apps. This is a very cool app. This is called Explode, and it's not going to explode your computer. It's totally free. This will operate on the Windows operating system, any version that you have, and essentially this is ADW Cleaner, And what this will do is it's a program that searches for and deletes adware, toolbars, potentially unwanted programs. That's called PUP, by the way, potentially unwanted programs, PUP. And browser hijackers from your computer by using Adware Cleaner. I should call it Adware Cleaner, ADW Cleaner. You can easily remove many of these types of programs for a better user experience on your computer while you're browsing the web. So essentially, you're going to load this on your machine. It's totally free. It updates automatically, and this is a cool program to have, and I'll tell you why. Every so often, you're going to load a free program on, and it's free, and the program works. However, coupled to that program that you're loading on, and many times unbeknownst to you, they tack on all kinds of stuff. You used to have Google as your main page when you would log on to your browser. Google would come up, or Yahoo, or whatever the page may be, Bing, and it automatically switches out your search engine. You wonder, how did that happen? Or the one that I hate is they put that ASK toolbar right on your browser, and you go like, wow, that wasn't there before. What's going on? Well, that new piece of, quote, free software didn't tell you that you were going to get that added on for free, which you don't want, or typically don't want, or you missed the little check marks when you were loading that software that said this is going to add on, whatever the toolbar may be. ASK toolbar is probably the most common, and it is a pain in the butt. So if you should inadvertently do that, get this AW Cleaner, and that will remove that toolbar. You also can remove it manually, but this is real easy, and it will remove a lot of other stuff, and it's totally free. Also, whenever you're loading any of my software apps, I do check them out beforehand. I might not run them for several days, but I do check them out, and I will tell you if there's any kind of adware that's going to be added on. And they should tell you too, and many times they do, but you just keep clicking yes, 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 and before you know it, you have all this junk on your computer. So this is a free, handy program to have. Now this site I kind of get a laugh at. This is called Coffeetivity. And what this does is it actually downloads background noise of coffee shop sounds to boost your creativity. Now these sounds are at your fingertips. And I actually copied the URL, so I'm going to, well, I'll leave that for a second. Let me copy that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But this drives me nuts, this page. Basically, I'm not going to put it on, but what it does is it actually feeds you sounds of background noise of people being in a coffee shop, and it stimulates that you should be working in a better environment because people are used to working in coffee shops. I'm not, but sometimes background noise, whether it's rock and roll or classical music or whatever you have, it seems to help some people work and get things done. So this will run those crazy sounds behind you of people banging cups and things like that. I don't like it, but some people do. And it's also available for your Mac, your iPhone, your iPad in the App Store. And guess what? It's free. So there you go. Now we have some news coming to you directly from the BBC, British Broadcasting System. And this is interesting. Sony's Smart Stick is to challenge the Chromecast dongle. And we talked about the Chromecast stick about 2-3 weeks ago. You can go back and check that Gadget Professor episode out. But Sony has confirmed plans to launch a dongle app and other smartphone TV features to its televisions. It will compete against the similar new product, Chromecast, by Google. Sony told entertainment trade magazine Variety that it would formally launch the Android-powered Smart Stick later this week, so it should be out by now. It will offer access to online content, including video streams, music, and games. However, one analyst said that the price might prove its weakness. Well, everybody knows that the Google Chrome Stick cost $35. $35. This Chrome Stick now is going to come out at $150. For $150, I could probably buy a little TV at this point. So I'm right off the bat, I'm going like, are you kidding me? However, many of the features offered by the Sony device will be similar to what was included in the earlier Google TV set boxes. Now, what this does seem to offer somewhere here is it said, they state that this dongle is going to offer access to Netflix, and Netflix is easily obtainable on the Chrome Stick, but Amazon Instant Video, I believe, is not available easy. There are some workarounds on the Chrome Stick. So that's kind of interesting. But folks, for $150, I'm going to keep my eye on this. I'm not going to buy one, but I'll be interested to see what the reviews look like, and we'll keep you posted on that. Now, some other news that is of interest to me, and perhaps of interest to my audience, and I reluctantly bring this to you, but I like this guy. One of my favorite people, Mr. Art Bell. Art Bell is back on the radio, and if you're not familiar with Art Bell, you should be. Let me get rid of this ad. This ad just popped up. But here's a picture of Mr. Bell here, and Art Bell has been around for years and years and years, and let's see if I could find the Art Bell biography, which was quite fascinating. Let's see, I believe it was right up front here. I don't see it easily, but Art Bell's a graduate of Harvard University. You've heard of that. He was a Marine. He's been around, and he prides himself on doing crazy shows like extraterrestrials, UFOs, any kind of thing that's kind of weird, at least weird to us, and he does a great job with it. And he used to be on the radio for years and years and years. As a matter of fact, he started a show called Coast to Coast, which now is hosted on the radio by George Norrie. So if you're a late night person and can't sleep like the Gadget Professor, I kind of lay in bed with earphones on, and I have been listening to George Norrie, who kind of picked up the show and inherited the show from Art Bell, who's still a consultant with Coast to Coast, and I still think he has some financial relationship. Long story short, he's been off the air for 10 years, and he's back now. I listened to him for the last 2 nights. He just came on the air on Monday, and he has an awesome show called Dark Matter. The only way you could subscribe to this, unfortunately, is subscribing to Sirius Radio, and you can do that by just dialing up Sirius on the internet, and they do have some free 1-month trial, so you can listen to Art and see if you like him. But I'm thrilled that he's back. He's 68 years old, quite accomplished guy. Most people think that he's a fanatic and a kook, and I think he's pretty interesting, and I kind of like him. So if you're into UFOs and all kinds of crazy things like that, Bigfoot, so on and so forth, Art Bell's your man, so check him out. Once again, folks, I got an email from a person who I guess was pretty desperate. I answered them back immediately. I mentioned this many weeks ago, called Private Note. This will create a link to a note. You copy the link and send it to whoever it is you want, and after the note is read, it will self-destruct and it won't exist anymore. So that's called Private Note, Privnote. It will be in the show notes, and there you go. And people, keep the show notes, because I can't remember everything that I've covered. You know, we're up to, I think, the show 123. That's a lot of apps for 123 episodes, considering I do 5 to 6 apps per episode. So keep those handy, and you can always just search the apps, search the show notes and find out where the apps are. This is another cool program, totally free, and if you have any art capability, which I do not, unfortunately, I like to tell people what to create, but I myself have no artistic ability whatsoever, which bothers me, but that's the case. Now, this is a free version put out by Inkscape, and essentially what this is it will replace shows like programs like Adobe Illustrator, which is a heavy-duty program, and it does almost everything that does. You can see some of the beautiful artwork that you can create. So if you have a student or a child that's into drawing, they have to learn the computer today. You won't make it in life without knowing how to operate the computer, and if you can learn how to do Photoshop or certainly Illustrator, this is the program that you want, because it's totally free, and it's a very cool program. And this says that it's an open source program, which means it's free. It's vector graphics editor with capabilities very similar to Illustrator, CorelDRAW, I think it's called Xara, Xara, and those are quite loaded, shall we say, quite robust programs that exist that cost a lot of money. This will do pretty much feature for feature for free, so you'll want to check that out. It's put out by Inkscape, and you will find that on the internet, and you'll also find it on my show notes. Rolling right along. This is a fun piece of software, and it's also somewhat dangerous piece of software. This is called One Touch Location. Share and track your movement, explore the world, an app that simply works. Instantly share your location via your smartphones with your friends, your partners, and colleagues. Let them know where you are. Record your GPS coordinates online and discover points of interest around you. This is available on the iPhones, and it's also available on the Android phones, the Google Play Store and the iTunes App Store. Share your position. Your friends will receive an email or SMS with your current address and a link to the Google Maps. On the Android and iPhone, they can open this link and directly in Google Maps find you and get exactly to where you're at. So if you're in the parking lot, if you're supposed to meet up at a movie or something and your friend's lost or whatever, if you both have this app, this will sync and take them directly to where you are. If you have kids and you want to know where they are and they're supposed to go, let's say from here, I don't know, let's say you have a teenager and they're driving to the zoo, I don't know. This will show exactly where they are and show their map as they're driving. You can follow them live. So interesting application. Obviously you got to be careful when you're using it, because if I know you're at Walmart and want to rob you, and that means you're not home, or I think you're not home, you got to be careful with that thing. But other than that, it's pretty cool, and there is a pro version available. Now, let's go to the cool, fun gadget of the day. We'll take a shot on camera too, and we are going to go to the NETGEAR Universal Wi-Fi Internet Adapter, WNCE 2001. This is the box that it comes in, and essentially you can connect one Ethernet-enabled device to your existing home network and internet. And this is the box that it comes in. It's a universal Wi-Fi adapter for smart TV and Blu-ray, and it works great with the Sling box. And anywhere that you need an internet connection and you don't want to run wires and you have Wi-Fi, this is the puppy that you want to use. And as I said, right now I'm actually picking up my Wi-Fi in the studio here using this device. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this box. I'm going to go back on camera too, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, and it's actually hooked up. So let's take a look. I'll remove the box, and here is the actual device. It's very small. Here's my Android Galaxy phone, so you can see, it gives you a feel for the size. It's quite small. And let's take a close-up of this device. So the first thing that you're going to notice is that there's 3 lights on the bottom right here. This one is the power light. This one is the LAN light, which actually shows that you have an Ethernet connection. And this is the WLAN light here. So these 3 lights have to work together, and you'll know it's working because all 3 lights are green. Now on the back side, and as you can see, this is hooked up, they have some cool things here. This is the power plug right here, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute. So this unit does need power, and once I get off camera too, I'm going to show you how you can achieve power to this unit. This obviously is the Ethernet connector right here, this blue wire, and this comes with, and you get 2 power connectors. Now aside from that, there's some other interesting features on this which I really like. Right here, I'm sure you can't see it, maybe you can, but right there's a button, and that's a WPS button. And if you have a NETGEAR router or any router that does WPS, all you have to do to hook this up, to get this on the internet on your Wi-Fi, is to click this WPS button. This light's going to blink, and then you go to your router and click the WPS button on your router, and that's it. And they also have, you can't see it I'm sure, but right here they have a reset button. And that's pretty much all there is to this. This is what it looks like. And now let's talk about this power cable here that I mentioned a little bit earlier. What you get with the box is as follows. You're going to get a power cord that comes in the box. You get a power cord, AC power cord, and this will supply power. Now the other thing that you're going to get to supply power, and that's what I'm using now, is this exact cord, but instead of having the power pack on the end of it, you will have a USB connector that will plug into your TV set, your device that you're trying to operate wirelessly, or any USB plug that you have will work with this. So that wire, if we go back on camera 2, I'm going to turn this around, my computer around. We'll go back to camera 2 if we can. And you'll notice that this cable right here is what's supplying the power. So that's the USB port coming right into this device, and that's how I'm getting power. And you can see my 3 lights. Now, if I pull any of these wires out, I'm going to lose the connection and you won't see me, so we're not going to do that. So it's fairly simple to hook up, and what we'll do now is we're going to take a quick look at how this operates. And I think I just showed you, but this is what NETGEAR says about it. And hopefully we will have
Wi-Fi internet adapter and connect your devices to the internet.
Mike, we have sound
no
back
wires
there?
and
Yep,
no
okay.
worries. Simple, small, and universal. The Universal Wi-Fi Internet Adapter unleashes the power of your home technology. To learn more, go to
It's probably the easiest device that I've ever used to hook up
Wi-Fi.
in terms of getting something,
NETGEAR.
to operate without an Ethernet cable somewhere in a room that's away from where you want the device, your kitchen, your bedroom, whatever. It just works so easy. It's ridiculous. So Netflix, Hulu, your TV, your Sling box, anything that needs an Ethernet connection that doesn't have Wi-Fi built into it.
NETGEAR's easy-to-use universal Wi-Fi internet adapter makes connecting your TV and other gadgets to the internet
NETGEAR makes a great product.
Trouble-free.
And
By plugging a network cable into the internet TV, for example, and then in the universal
again,
Wi-Fi
the movie
internet
shows you
adapter,
exactly what I
you're
just
connected
showed
to
you,
your
how to
home
hook it up.
wireless network.
Pretty straightforward.
And
There's your
with push and
WPS
connect, at the
connections
push of a button,
on your router.
the
You would just
universal
click
Wi-Fi
that.
internet
It would
adapter
power it
is
up for you automatically. You don't have
secured
to
in
touch
your
a thing.
The conveniently
And let's
compact universal Wi-Fi
stop this
internet
right
adapter
now because
is
I've
small
shown you
and
pretty much everything there. Now, the other way that you can hook this up, if your wireless router does not have that WPS button, I'm going to try this. Let me see if it works. Yeah, it does. Okay. Essentially what you're going to do is, if you don't have that WPS button on there, you're going to take this Ethernet cable that's right here. We'll go on camera 2. And this Ethernet cable is going to plug directly into the side of your computer. And you're going to make sure, and this is critical, that your computer is off the Wi-Fi. It has to be off the Wi-Fi. So let's go back to camera 1. So again, you have to be off the Wi-Fi. Your computer obviously is on the Wi-Fi because you're using it. So to connect this device up the first time, you disconnect this from the Wi-Fi. There's a little button that will turn off your transmitter, so the computer doesn't receive Wi-Fi. As soon as you plug this in and plug the Ethernet cable into your laptop computer, it will immediately bring up the NETGEAR page. It's very easy to use and very cool. And this is what the NETGEAR page looks like if you take a look at my laptop right now. And you can see here that I've successfully connected the wireless to Studios, Multimedia Studios, which is where we are right now. And the way it works is it basically sends out a signal to see what wireless connectivity is available in your area, and there's multiple. We're in a big office building here, so there's multiple Wi-Fi connections. We found our Wi-Fi connections because it was listed on the computer in the menu here. And then I clicked on that and I put in our Wi-Fi security code, and then I clicked connect, and then it took about 2 minutes and the lights blinked on and off. These will go amber, green, all those colors flicker. And then all of a sudden, within 2 minutes, you can see the graph going up, and it locks on, and then all the lights will go green. And once all these lights will go again on camera 2, once all these 3 lights, camera 2, Mike, once all these 3 lights connect green, you are up, you are operating, you are rolling. So Pretty simple to operate either way, whether you have the WPS connection or you have just the computer itself and you don't have a WPS router. Simple to use, easy to operate, cost very cheap. I bought this for 45 bucks at Walmart. Amazon has them. Fry Electronics, I can't believe, had it for 42 bucks, 3 bucks cheaper. But if you're in a rush and you need something quick, just go to Walmart, pick this up. It is the NETGEAR WNCE 2001 Universal Wi-Fi Internet Adapter. I hope you enjoyed the show. And next week, I'm going to, I believe, have a special guest, if we can arrange it. Mr. Gary Meeker is going to be on the Gadget Professor, and he is a 5-time award-winning cinema photographer, quite accomplished worldwide, a very good friend of ours here. I've known Gary for a few years now, and just a lot of fun. And he is going to announce, as a great announcement, of a brand new channel that he has started with all kinds of cool entertainment on it, and he will tell you more about that when Gary comes on. So thank you so much for tuning into the Gadget Professor. I'll see everybody next week. So long. Talk to you later.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.